Bismillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali Sayyidina Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. اللهم ألهمنا مراشد أمورنا وأعذنا من شرور أنفسنا. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, many a time after the Fajr Salah, he would turn, he would face his companions, and then he would ask, هل رأى منكم أحد رؤيا? That last night did any of you see a dream? Sahaba radiallahu anhum would then mention a dream. Allah's Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam was blessed with that knowledge, that he was the master in the interpretation of dreams. But Allah Tabarak Ta'ala had given companions around him also that ability. Abu Bakr radiallahu anh was a master in this. Muhammad ibn Sirin is known as the Imam of the field of interpreting dreams. So his knowledge in the interpretation of dreams also goes up to Abu Bakr radiallahu anh. Abu Bakr radiallahu anh had a certain zawq for it, a certain feeling for it. Allah Tabarak Ta'ala would put a meaning in his mind which would be very close to what was seen in the dream. So on one occasion, Abu Hurairah radiallahu anh narrates, a man comes. It is after the Fajr Salah. Allah's Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam asks. So this individual says, I saw a dream last night. It's a very interesting dream, a very unique dream. The explanation of the dream was unique. And the lesson behind it for us also is very unique. Many a time, the laws of Sharia are very clear. But when a person sees in a dream that same message which is being told daily out of the dream, for some reason, it's that dream that gives him that little extra courage. A person understands what I am doing is haram. He's looking on the phone, he's looking on the internet, he's seeing filthy pictures. But it's in a dream that you are able to see the mithal, the like of that in another world. And when you see its reality, its like, then what you liked so much in this world, you might not like it anymore. Ibrahim alayhi salam example, on the day of Qiyamah, Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam will say, Oh Allah, my dua was to you, do not disgrace me on the day of Qiyamah. La tukhzini yawma yub'athun. Then he would say, what could be a greater disgrace that I am here in paradise and I see my father far away in the fire. Is that not a disgrace? Almighty Allah will say, oh my Khalil friend, there is no place in Jahannam for a disbeliever. But at that moment, Ibrahim alayhi salam is looking at his father as he always saw his father. So naturally there's a certain inclination, there's a certain love. And then Allah Tabarak Ta'ala reveals to Ibrahim alayhi salam how your father actually looks. Meaning if you had to see him how we see him. This is what happens in a dream. In a dream, many a time you don't see how we see it while awake. You see the real picture of it. So Ibrahim alayhi salam is looking and his father is no longer in front of him. But at his feet, he sees like a hyena. And the hyena, when it gets dirty, meaning it attacks an animal, it gets covered with blood. Or sometimes a hyena rolls in its old dirt. So he finds a hyena by him and it's covered with blood and dirt. Just the hyena itself is such, you say, get away. But the hyena covered with dirt and blood, when he sees that, naturally Ibrahim alayhi salam pushes it away from him, pushes it. And then when he pushes it, then the hyena is taken and now the hyena is flung into the fire. What it was that you yourself, when you saw your father's reality, could not keep him close to you. Where is he going to go into paradise? But as long as we see things as the world shows it, this is not the true picture. we become very inclined, very attracted. We need to see things how it really is shown. That is known as the world of mithal, the world of reality. We can see it in one of two ways. While awake, you will have to see it in the light of Quran, in the light of Sunnah. But you will have to have a lot of yaqeen, conviction. Sahaba radiallahu anhum, whatever they saw in the light of Quran and Sunnah. So for them, if they saw wealth, it was the wealth of inheritance. It was so much of wealth. But together with that, they saw if there is one part, one morsel, one gold coin, one silver coin, one only. They saw it in the light of Quran and Sunnah. They saw the fire of Jahannam. They saw a man eating fire. Me and you, if we see a man taking coal in his hand, forget me taking it, I'll scream if he takes it. You say you'll burn. But if we see a man taking haram wealth, forget him, even when I eat it, we do nothing. Because we see it as it looks in this world, they saw it as it looks in reality. So for them to see someone taking coal and putting it in his mouth and burning, they would scream. Me and you won't scream. We will take it and put it. So for us to take inheritance, for us to steal the wealth of the orphan, to steal somebody else's inheritance, for them, if there was a land, it was very easy in their era to steal land. Because the markings, you just had to move a little pole. They had no markings really on maps. I own from this area to this area. They had bricks, rocks. You get your slave, you tell him, all these rocks, just push it a little. Now my land becomes bigger. But could they do it? They saw it in the light of the akhirah. Allah's Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, you stealing a small portion? No. He said, on the day of Qiyamah, you will have to drag that portion with you. But it is not one earth, it is 7 earths. It goes downwards. He says, you're not stealing one portion, you have stolen the portion of 7 earths. He said, drag it around on the plains of Qiyamah. They saw that picture. They said, I'm not ready to drag it. So either in the light of Quran and Sunnah, you see reality, then we got no problem. Then you see a person martyred in the path of Allah. You'll wonder, how can people smile when there's martyrdom in the family? They're not seeing death. They're seeing it in the light of Quran. La tahsabanna alladhina. Don't ever say to this man, he's dead. So example, when we read the news, they'll say 40,000 people died in Gaza. 50,000 people. We will say rather 50,000 people attained permanent life in the year after. They will call it death, we will call it life. They will call it the enemy means the Muslims. The enemy have been defeated. We will say the enemy, meaning the Muslims. The fighters have now risen. They will say Islam is being destroyed. When we see jihad, we'll say Islam is now rising. They will see blood. They will see what blood is the ending. We will see what blood is the beginning. How the people of this world see it, it's either in a dream or in the light of Quran and Sunnah. In the light of Quran and Sunnah or in a dream, you see realities. And realities then spur a person on to walk that path. Sahaba radiallahu anhum, they never needed much of dreams because they saw nearly everything in the light of Quran and Sunnah. But when a dream came, it was like the cherry on top. As for me and you, our relationship with Quran and Sunnah is much weaker. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, closer to the final hour, hardly will a believer see a dream that is not hitting its target. Hardly. It will be with dreams that Allah will give courage. With dreams that He'll say, you're going to manage, don't worry, you're going to manage. Yusuf alayhi salam saw a dream. He told his father, I saw in the dream the sun, the moon, the stars making sajda to me. Yusuf alayhi salam was then taken away. The brother said the wolf ate him. Yaqub alayhi salam never believed it. Yusuf alayhi salam was taken from the well. He was taken to Egypt. Everyone would say Yusuf has died. Yaqub alayhi salam wouldn't believe it. Yusuf alayhi salam will remain in the house of the minister. He will grow up. Years will pass. Yaqub alayhi salam will not believe my Yusuf is dead. Yusuf alayhi salam will become like the minister of Egypt. He'll go into jail after that. He'll come out of jail. So many years will pass. We don't really know how many, but in the books, they explain it could be over 60, 70 years. Yaqub alayhi salam still will not believe my Yusuf has passed away. The brothers will go to Egypt. They will take Yusuf alayhi salam's real brother Binyamin. Yusuf alayhi salam will hold him back. Most of us know the incident. So many years. The brothers will come back, say to Yaqub alayhi salam, that your other son, Binyamin, it's not in our control, he's taken away. Yaqub alayhi salam will start crying. The blackness of his eye will start becoming white. وَبْيَضَّتْ عَيْنَا. He starts becoming blind. But then when he speaks to them, he says, I have hope one day Allah will bring my Yusuf back to me. So they will say to him, are you still in your dream of Yusuf? You lost Binyamin at the moment. What Yusuf? Yusuf is gone. But for him, Yusuf is not gone. Because he was looking at it in the eye of the dream. The dream had shown him that you can see blood. Years and years have passed. The whole world thought it's the end of Yusuf. Finally, when the brothers come and tell Yaqub alayhi salam, Daddy, you were right. Yaqub alayhi salam will answer to them, because inni a'lamu min Allah, from the side of Allah I have a knowledge which you have no knowledge about. For him it was, I understood the dream much better than you. They also heard the dream. But he understood the dream that a day has to come where the sun, the moon and the stars will prostrate in front of my Yusuf. That day hasn't yet come. You might think he's dead. He can't be dead. At the moment, the war of Gaza, what gives courage to the people of Iman in that land is two. One is they see everything in the light of Quran and Sunnah. There is not a fighter that's allowed except that he has to be a hafiz of a certain amount of Quran. He must be, his family must be. As they read Quran again and again, they will read that, do you think the help of Allah won't come? Me and you far away, I find people losing hope. They say it seems this is the end. Israel is now too strong. But you go in that land, you will find the people have not lost any hope at all. One can pass away, another can pass away, 50 can pass, 100,000 can pass. In the light of Quran and Sunnah, they see it like Yaqub alayhi salam saw it. That you are seeing blood, we are seeing life. You are seeing destruction, we are seeing it's being made ready. You are seeing we're going to be servants, we are seeing we're going to become the king. Everything a dream shows. Islam is rising at the moment in a very fast, in a rapid manner. But you will have to see it in the light of Quran and Sunnah, or you'll have to see it in the light of dreams. Sahaba radiallahu anh, when dreams were told to them, it was like the cherry on the top. In our time, Allah's Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned, as we come closer to the hour, hardly will a believer see a dream except that it will be hitting targets. Meaning it will give him inspiration. But together with that he said, but remember, if you want your dream to be true, you will have to be true while you awake also. He said, the one who is most truthful in the talk, he will find the most truest of dreams. You lie in your normal conversation, you'll see lies in your dreams also. It is with dreams and it is with the light of Quran and Sunnah. We see another reality. It is in the light, in dreams, that a man who's connected to the internet, he's always with television, he's always with evil, he's always looking at dirt and filth. It is in a dream that he might see a snake. It's amazing when a person sees a snake in his dream. One snake with a lot of colors. Everyone knows a snake with colors means terrible poison. Terrible poison. It's in a dream. In a dream, no snake can ever bite you. It's a dream. But when he sees that colorful snake in the dream coming for him, in the dream he goes running. But he wakes up and he perspires outside the dream. Now he becomes so worried that immediately he writes a dream. He writes it to this scholar, that scholar, that scholar. He say, urgent, please interpret my dream. Is the snake going to bite me? It's a dream. But he gets so scared. But then when you ask him, how's business? How's life? What happens at night? What are you looking at that's so colorful but poisonous? Then when he'll speak about, I'm on the internet, I'm on porn, I'm on filth, I'm chatting with the wrong people. He got all the snakes around him, but it never made him run one time. That snake can bite, the one in the dream can't bite. But he gets scared of the dream snake, he's not scared of the real snake. The dream is saying to him, it looks so colorful, colorful is poison. It looks so colorful. As you ran in your dream, one day in the year after you'll have to run. But in the dream you were able to wake up. In that world you won't be able to wake up. That's the dream. Now that man must think, how I ran in the dream, but I could wake up. I got saved. On that world, it's the same thing. You're going to see the colorful snake again coming. It could have been that pretty girl who you ran for. Pretty. On that day Allah Tabarak Ta'ala will say to people, فَأُمُّهُ هَاوِيَةٌ فَأُمُّهُ هَاوِيَةٌ وَأَمَّا مَنْ خَفَّتْ مَوَازِينُهُ, the one whose scale is weak, the scale got no value. We will say to him, your mother is the fire of Jahannam. Your mother. Scholars write that why did Allah call something your mother? It might be that girl that you were running behind. She wasn't meant for you. She was haram. It could have been that model. It could have been a man for another man. He was running behind his lust. A dream has to show you what you're running behind, or Quran and Sunnah. But we'll have to understand the picture we see in the world is not true. We are looking at another picture that we have to see. Let the dream show it to you. Let Quran and Sunnah show it to you. So now when that girl is there, it's not a pretty girl. It's not a nice secretary. It's not a smiling face. It's a snake. It's a serpent. It's a scorpion. See it. That's when Allah's Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, "Year of the snake of the fire." He said that snake will bite one time. And the person will feel the pain, the heat of the bite of the snake for 40 years. He said, you must see that snake, you're looking at it. Now it's not sweet anymore, now it's very bitter. Now it's not a pretty face, I see the fire of Jahannam. Now I'm not running towards, I'm running away. Because if this one in my dream comes to me, I'll run. What if this one comes to me in my grave? I can't run. Then I can't run. It is with these colors, with these pictures, when we will see reality, it will make us understand what's real and what we're supposed to go to. So this Sahabi radiallahu anh, he sees a dream. He says, "O Nabi of Allah, last night I saw," Imam Tirmidhi rahimahullah narrates this from Abu Hurairah radiallahu anh. He says, "I saw a cloud, and from the cloud dripping was honey and butter. Yantufu minha as-samnu wal-asal." So you see your butter coming down, you see your honey coming down. Yastaqoon wa ra'aytu an-nasa yastaqoona bi aydihim. And when you see honey and butter from the clouds, who won't run? I saw all the people putting their hands, like how we run for rain. But now if you got butter and honey from the skies, فَالْمُسْتَكْثِرُ مِنْهَا وَالْمُسْتَقِلُ. There were some people taking a lot of it, some people were taking less. He said, then I saw sababan wasil. I saw a rope that was now connected. Minas sama, from the sky to the earth. فَأَرَاكَ يَا رَسُولَ اللَّهِ. I saw you, O Nabi of Allah, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, you grabbed hold of the rope. فَعَلَوْتَ, and you went up. High you went. After you, I saw another man. He also grabbed hold of the rope and he's gone up. So Allah's Nabi is one, then there is one man, and then I see another man. He holds the rope and he goes up. So 3. Then the 4th person comes, he grabs hold of the rope. فَقُطِعَ بِهِ, but the rope snaps. So he can't go up. فَوُصِلَ, then I see a connection is made again. The rope is reconnected. فَعَلَى, and then the man is allowed to go up. Abu Bakr radiallahu anh is the master of interpretation. He says, may my mother and father be sacrificed, O Nabi of Allah, allow me. Let me give the interpretation. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam says, go ahead. Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, what a mind he had, how he thought about it. So fast he picked it up. Cloud, what is a cloud? He said, al-dhullatu al-Islam. That if you're looking for a cloud, because what's a cloud? Who looks for the cloud? Farmers look for the cloud. They know when the cloud comes, it's going to give them benefit from two things. One is a man on a journey looks for clouds. Because with the cloud, the heat of the sun becomes less. You say, I'm going to the haram, I hope there's clouds out, because it's too hot. Once the cloud comes, it protects you from the heat. What protects the world from the heat of Jahannam? It is Islam. What a cloud does, it brings water. What water does, it brings life to the thing that is dead. In this world, what brought life to a world that was dead in kufr? It was the cloud of Islam. As it came, wherever it dripped, the dead land came alive, dead people came alive. Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, what a mind. Immediately he said, cloud is Islam. What's so hard about that? Dripping from the cloud, butter and honey. He said, that's very easy. He says, butter and honey is Quran. What else can it be? He said, Quran, linuhu wa halawatuhu. There is nothing as slippery, soft, palatable, easy down the throat, easy on the tongue, easy for the memory, easy to accept. It's like butter. You say, this is like butter in my hands. The man who can't read Quran is reading Quran. The man who couldn't memorize, now he got it. One boy, it took him 9 years. 9 years to do 9 paras of Quran. 9 years, 1 para a year. Nothing changed in this boy's life. In the 10th year, he did the remaining 21 paras of Quran. 9 years, 9 paras. Then it became like butter. Suddenly it just flowed. When it was allowed to see, butter goes everywhere. When it melts, it enters the heart. The heart is hard. The butter finds its place. It goes away inside. Quran, he said, there is nothing so soft, so palatable, so easy to accept. Asal, honey is sweet. Honey is cure. He said, Quran, what can be sweeter than Quran? What is a better cure than Quran? He said, what's so hard about that? فَالْمُسْتَكْثِرُ وَالْمُسْتَقِلُ. There will be some people who will take a huge amount of Quran. They will grab from the butter of Quran, the honey of Quran. Unfortunately, he said there will be some people who will take less of Quran. Some people will see it as this is the butter I need. And some people will not see it. Some will grab, some won't grab. Allah make us, we are the ones who grab. He said, then if you speak about the rope that is from the sky to the earth, he says, that is the truth which you have brought, O Nabi of Allah. What else connects us to Almighty Allah? What else allows us in the world to be higher than every other faith, religion? And allows us to be higher in power, in proof, and allows us in the year after to be higher than all. What will allow a man who was oppressed in this world to be able to stand in the year after and see his oppressor? And he says, oh Allah, this is the one who broke me from my family. This is the one who raped my family in front of me. This is the one who raped me in front of others. This is the one who killed my children. This is the one who killed my father. What is that thing which will allow the oppressed to stand over the oppressor and to say it's payback time? That day is coming. There's only one rope that takes us so high. The rope, he says, it's the truth. He says, oh Nabi of Allah, obviously you grabbing the truth and Allah gave you that height. In this world you were given the height. In the year after you will be given the height. You grabbed onto it. Exactly what you brought, you grabbed, and where you went. He says, and after you another man will come. Here Abu Bakr radiallahu anh left it as the dream said it. A man. He did not say who the man will be. That was left for time to show who will be the next man who will grab the rope and it will go up. And then another man will come, he'll grab the rope, he'll go up. He says, and then the fourth will come. But the rope will snap. The rope will snap. So time had to explain this. When did the rope snap? Different interpretations can be given. One is that there were 3 eras in which the rope was connected in a unique manner. It was the era of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which he said, Khairun nasi qarni. He and his era. Meaning they held on to the rope and where they went. The era of Sahaba radiallahu an. What the Nabi of Allah and on his demise, Islam was just carrying on. Then he said, ثُمَّ الَّذِينَ يَلُونَهُمْ. Then it will be the one more era and one more era. These three eras, they intertwined. One goes into the other. The era of Tabi'een with Sahaba. And the era of Tabi'een with Sahaba. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, my Sahaba for the ummah will be like the stars in the sky. He says, when the last star disappears, it becomes totally dark. Similarly, my Sahaba, meaning when the last one will pass away, that will come on my ummah which they have been promised. So by the year 100, around the year 100, the last Sahabi passes away, 100, 105. And from that time, we are now in the year 1400 plus. We are moving very close to 15. Many scholars would speak about 15. The year 1500, many scholars in the past and in present, many scholars. We are fast moving to that last 15. But from the year 100 Hijri, already 1300 years have passed. In this 1300 years, it has been a continuous circle where the enemy falls on Islam. It makes an effort to cut the rope, that the believers cannot be connected to Allah. They cannot get height in this world, they can't get height in the year after. Cut the rope. The rope gets cut. The ummah falls to the ground. The first group comes. There is problems in the Muslim ummah. Jihad stops. The enemy thinks jihad will never start. The rope gets connected. Muawiyah radiallahu anh is made in charge of the ummah. The ropes, the wheels of jihad start again. The enemy made so much effort, collapsed to the ground. A time comes, the crusades come in Islam, they took over everything. They break the marakis, they go into Al-Aqsa, they make masajid into stables. No masjid, no Quran, no masjid, no maktab, no one reading Quran. Masjid is a stable. The entire land of Sham has become the land of Europe. It is called the Christian kingdom. They think the rope is cut. The dream showed wusila. Again we will connect the rope. How it gets connected? 100 years later, you come 150 years later, you would never even know the crusades ever came to the land. Everything comes back again. Everyone is reading Quran. Life has started again. Mongols attack Islam. Their target is Sham. Their target is Iraq. Iraq is the center of the Muslim world. You can take away the markaz, you destroy the whole Islam. They take the markaz. Baghdad is collapsed. There will be no scholars. Who's going to teach Quran? There will be no copies of Quran. Things are thrown into the rivers. When the Mongols attacked Islam, libraries and libraries and libraries. They could take books and books and books which the world will never hear about. But Quran they could not take. How much effort they made. Cut the people away from the sky. Cut Quran. Qutiya, the dream showed, it will be cut. Wusila, connection will be made again, and the ummah went up again. The ummah found connection with Quran, started rising. The time came where the word Mongols are only found in the books of history. If you have to say how much they killed, how much they did, you say, yeah, but it passed. Islam took over. Islam took over. Then came the time where the collapse of the Ottoman Khilafah. Again, target was Quran. Target was Quran. They must not know the language of Quran. They must not know how to read Quran. They must not understand Quran. For that, kill the scholars. If you can't close the masajid, make sure in the masjid a hypocrite is put as an imam. He must not teach Quran to the people. He must not explain to them the true meaning of Quran. He must show them the different sciences. He must say Europe has advanced so much. He is becoming this, he is becoming that, he is becoming that. Go and worry about this. Cut away from Quran. At that time the Qadi, one of the judges, came to what we will call one of the puppets in the land of Turkey. That puppet leader said something. One of the judges said, you are saying things against Quran. That leader took that Quran from him, grabbed it, threw it in his face, and he said, the people of Turkey do not want anything to do with this Quran. He did it there. It was in recent times before this government came into power, maybe about 10 years before that. They had one party on an island. They had a party on the island. The recording of the party was those people who spent the night in the island, but they went out. They had a party on the island. In the party they took Quran, put it on the ground and they stamped it. Stamped it. Allah Tabarak Ta'ala allowed them to party at night. It was that next morning or afternoon, whenever it was, that ocean took that whole island inside. The whole island. It was a very big thing at that time in Turkey, because most of the shaitani lieutenants, all were taken in one night to the bottom of the waters. Hardly they reported it in the media, because if a true report had to come when they sent divers, some reported that what those divers saw were not the faces of human beings, but the faces of animals. That they could not quote it in the media really what they saw, but it was the crux of the shayatini power taken to the ground whenever they tried to cut the ummah's relation with Quran. فَوُصِلَ, Allah said, we reconnected. Quran is never going to be cut. Reconnection. And with reconnection again the rise started. At the moment in the world, the reconnection of the world with Quran has started. The reconnection of the world with Quran has started. Non-Muslims are connecting with Quran because of the war of Gaza. Every day when a new non-Muslim reverts to Islam and is asked, what brought you in? Say, Quran, connected. The people of Gaza, the people of Sham, what we call Syria, if you have the chance to go now in those lands, there was a time about 25 years ago where their honor was only in attaining Western degrees. It was their honor. Then the war of Syria started. People who owned houses, 2, 3, 4-story houses, buildings, but the bombs brought it to the ground. They found martyrdom. Their children found themselves in tents. No one makes you a doctor in a tent. No one makes you a lawyer in a tent. When the whole world forgets a person, at that time that young boy, that young girl who got no mother, no father, no brother, no sister, would love to cry to someone, but there's no one to listen. At that time that child finds Quran. When that child finds Quran, that connection is made again. And it was with Quran that child starts rising. The rise has started in the Muslim lands. And it is going at an extremely fast pace that you will not see in the media, that you will not see in numbers. Quran's connection, the connection of man with Quran has started. Once it becomes so strong, the rope, فَأَخَذَ, and then the man holds on to the rope, فَعَلَى, he's going to go up again. This ummah is going to go up very, very fast. As this is happening, what I am mentioning here is, it is honey, it is butter. Whoever grabs onto it goes up straight. How much are me and you grabbing onto it? Because when others are going to go up, we also have to go up with it. Before anything happens, we have to connect again. Akhdh bil Quran. But to hold on to the Quran, don't just think that I read my one para a day, I'm okay. Don't ever make yourself happy, because we all know when someone tells you you need to climb this. Climbing is not called holding. If you ever went mountain climbing, you'll understand it's a different game. Climbing is not called holding. Climbing needs strength. Climbing needs a mind. Climbing needs understanding. I'm not just going to take 2 steps, I'm high, I say too high and I fall to the ground. Climbing needs courage. As you go up, you will have to look down. When you look down, you will get scared. Climbing needs courage. They'll tell you, look down, but don't get scared. Because when you're up there, you can't say, hey, I want to go down. You say, how are you going to go down? Fall. Climbing needs a lot of things. That boy grabs the rope and he doesn't understand the instructor in front. That put your leg here, put your leg here, put your leg there. He doesn't understand. He can't climb. For climbing with Quran, me and you also need. We need to know how to read Quran. It has to be soft and palatable like butter for me and you. We have to allow Quran to seep into our hearts like how butter seeps. We have to understand the meaning of Quran. We have to be reading it, we have to be understanding it, we have to be paying attention to it. With Quran we have to get courage, because when Quran will allow a nation to go up, one thing that the world of Gaza will give the world is we are not cowards. A lesson they'll give the world. We might not have weapons, but we are not cowards. 10 people die in our family, the 11th one still goes front. Not cowards. They showed the world that if you're climbing the mountain, when you're high on the top, you can't be scared of falling. As you're climbing your eyes to Allah, that even if I fall, He's going to pull me up. Courage. Me and you don't have a lot of the qualities of climbing. We make tilawat of Quran, we already got the rope. In this next few years, make this effort. We have to a certain extent, understand the meaning of Quran. If you cannot get it in the best way through the language, half a loaf is better than none, take it half. Open up a good translation, explanation of Quran. At least one time in our life at least, we must be able to go from the beginning of Quran till the ending. Even if it takes me 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, every day I read one page. If the tafsir is too long, get a shorter tafsir. A shorter explanation. Look at the word. What is my Allah saying? What's my message? We'll have to connect. We'll have to ponder over it. What message is being given to me? I have to see Quran speaking about the wealth of the orphan. It's speaking to me. Did you steal his wealth? Quran speaking about inheritance, speaking to me. Did you take somebody else's? When you're going to pass away, are you going to deprive your brother? Quran is speaking to me. Are you going to do it? Don't do it. I have to see Quran telling me that's Jahannam, don't go in that direction. Quran telling me that when you see something pretty, drop your gaze. I have to see Quran. I have to become ready. That Quran, I have to find in it courage. Because as we all saying, we're waiting for the day when things are going to happen. But when things are going to happen, you have to be ready to climb. On that day, climbers cannot be cowards. Climbers cannot be cowards. If you have to see things under your feet being blown up, you have to be ready to say, let it get blown, I'm going up. Quran will give us this courage, but from now already, the dream was seen. And wherever in history someone tried to cut the rope was reconnected and people went up again. We are now coming to the time when the rope has been reconnected. Again people are being offered the opportunity, grab onto the rope and start going. Allah Tabarak Ta'ala, let me and you also. The rope is getting ready. The opportunities of understanding Quran are opening up like wildfire in the world. It is Hifz Quran. Everywhere around you go, there's a Hifz class here, Hifz class here, Hifz class. Allah Tabarak Ta'ala allow us take the second step. That they're learning Quran, they're learning the meaning of Quran also, they're understanding. The scholars are taking out time. The person says, I need to know what Quran is saying to me. In the language, without the language, I need to know what's the message. Allah Tabarak Ta'ala allow it to spread like fire. Let me and you be the one who grabs, because whoever grabs this Quran is definitely going up. Wa sallallahu ala nabiyyil kareem wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. I'm not exactly sure when I'm supposed to stop. I think it's now, but if it's not now, I am tired. So I am stopping now. If it's a little early, then we can just make Durood Sharif until time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Allahu Akbar, Allah.